Just a disclaimer, this video is for news and commentary purposes only. Everything shared on here is based on publicly available information from trusted news outlets and gaming sources. This is not my personal opinion or an official statement from EA. The goal is to simply explain what's happening with EA's new ownership, the Sims community reactions, and including topics of LGBTQ plus inclusion. Please keep comments respectful and kind towards all peoples and groups. Let's get into the video. Hey Simmers, and welcome back to my channel. Big news in the sim world, with the EA company behind our favourite live sim franchise has just been bought out in one of the biggest deals in gaming history. But who actually bought EA? What does this mean for The Sims, and especially for its long history of the LGBTQ plus inclusion? Let's break it down in plain English. So here's a short version. At the end of September 2025, EA announced that it's being acquired for $55 billion by a group of global investors. And the buyers are the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia, Silver Lake, a private equity and tech investment firm, and the Infinity Partners, the investment group founded by Jared Kushner. Once the deal closes, EA will no longer be a public company, which means its stock will be delisted and a small private group will own it all. EA's CEO Andrew Wilson is staying in charge for now, and the deal is expected to fully close sometime in 2026 after the approval. So let's quickly unpack who the buyers are. The PIF, or the Public Investment Fund, is a Saudi Arabian sovereign wealth fund, basically the country's government run-in investment arm. They've been investing billions into the global entertainment, sports and gaming, including stakes in Activision, Nintendo and now EA. Silver Lake is a major private equity firm based in the US. They're known for investing in companies like Airbnb, Dwell, Twitter, and their main goal is profit and efficiency. And the Infinity Partners is run by Jared Kushner, who's tied both in the US politics and business circles in the Middle East. So EA is now being bought by a combination of foreign government fund, private investors and a political allies, but that mix has everyone talking. On paper, it's just a business, but the company like EA, home to The Sims, Dragon Age, Mass Effect and Apex, the concerns are way deeper, and here's why. LGBTQ plus rights concerns. Saudi Arabia's government has a strict law against it, expressions of it and relationships. Since The Sims is one of the most openly inclusive franchises in gaming, where everyone can date, marry and identify whoever they want to be, fans are worried that this deal could change that. Articles from Forbes and The Gamer highlight how players and developers fear queer censorship or reduce in exclusivity. The Sims has long been a safe, expressive space, and people don't want that to disappear. According to the Sims community.info, some EA employees are furious. One anonymous staff member reportedly said that Andrew Wilson has basically said F you to all the women and the LGBTQ plus employees at EA with this deal. Another one has said the buyout felt like a slap in the face to everyone who made EA a more inclusive company. Wilson sent out a memo that assured the EA's values remain unchanged, but employers don't believe that. The US senators, including Elizabeth Warren and Richard Blumenthal, sorry if I butchered that, have raised national security and foreign influence worries about Saudi Arabia owning a US gaming giant. They've asked the FTC to review the deal closely because EA handles massive amounts of players' data, including voice and chat and creative content. So between creative freedom, LGBTQ community inclusion and data privacy, this deal is raising red flags on multiple levels. So now, what does this specifically mean for The Sims? Right now, nothing drastic has changed and The Sims will still be updated. The Sims 5, also known as Project Relay, is still in development, but the community fears are about what could happen later. Censorship or toned down representations, or removing limited LGBTQ plus storylines, gender identity options or pride themed packs. More monetization. Since private equity often want fast profits, we could see more paid content, microtransactions, or maybe even a subscription model. AI-driven development. Reports EA's new owner wants to lean heavily on AI tools to reduce costs and speed up production. And possible layoffs. Leverage buyouts often lead to cost cutting, which means fewer developers and smaller teams. Even the Game Radar reported that Sims fans find the deal extremely scary, inciting AI layoffs and fears of losing the Sims' heart and soul. EA's leadership is trying to calm everyone down. Andrew Wilson said this deal will unlock new growth opportunities while keeping our creative vision strong. He claims EA's inclusive values won't change and that diversity will remain central to how they make games. But intentionally, not everyone is buying that. Many employees and long-term fans say, we've heard that before and we'll believe it when we see it. This isn't just one company. Analysts are calling this the largest leveraged buyout in gaming history, and that's got investors and developers nervous. When private firms buy a company with debt, they usually need to make money fast, and they mean layoffs, reconstructing, or less creative risk-taking, basically safer or more profitable choices instead of bold new ideas. Unions like Video Game Workers United are already petitioning regulators to protect developers' jobs and creative freedom. Even former BioWare director Mark Dara commented that it's hard to imagine studios like BioWare suddenly dropping progressive storytelling, but warned that financial pressure could still change priorities. The Sims community has been loud, and on Reddit and Twitter, hashtags like Keep the Sims exclusive are trending. Players are sharing stories about how The Sims helped them explore their gender identity, sexuality, and relationships safely. One posted it perfectly. The Sims taught me who I am, and if inclusivity disappears, so does the reason we play. Fans are calling EA to publicly guarantee that The Sims' freedom to love and express identity will never be changed or limited. So here's the bottom line. EA's new $55 billion buyout could reshape the whole of gaming. It brings massive money, but also real risks, censorship, layoffs, and corporate pressure. For The Sims, the future depends how loud we are as a community. If we keep pushing for inclusivity and transparency, EA and its new owners will have to listen. The Sims has always been about freedom, to build, to love, and to be yourself, and that is something worth fighting for. So what do you think about EA's buyout? Are you hopeful or nervous about The Sims' future? Let me know in the comments, and please keep the conversation respectful. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more gaming news and Sims updates. And until next time, stay creative, stay kind, and happy simming. Bye!